Hi everyone. So for today, we will be looking into some lessons as part of your office management training. Okay. So for this session, we will be discussing about skills for office jobs that is expected of someone who will be working in an office, as well as the duties and responsibilities of office workers. We will also be looking into the personality traits required of office staffs and, of course, some notes on grooming. Okay, so let's take the skills that are expected for everyone working in an office. Okay, so we have typing. So of course, if you're doing an office job, it's expected that you know how to type or encode in your computer. So it's best if you are at least fast, okay? But you can do it faster, or you can be good at it as you practice or as you do more of typing. So that's a skill that can come with experience or by doing. Okay, but of course, it's expected that if you go to an office, you know how to type, you know how to encode. Okay, so we also have shorthand, or sorry, I was not able to edit this. By the way, shorthand, guys, is something that's being used in courts or in any meeting where you use symbols to just to interpret a sentence, okay, in writing, so that you don't need to write the whole sentence. You just use some symbols or letters. But what I would like to put into this item is active listening. Okay, so active listening is a soft skill. Okay, which is according to many, it is a helpful skill for any worker or an office staff to develop, and it involves more than just hearing someone speak, but it also means that when you're doing active listening, you listen with all your senses, okay, so that you will come to understand the point of the other person. So it is important in a career, okay, because when you are an active listener, you easily grasp what the other person is saying, okay, and you don't miss details. Okay, so you secure information from another person by paying attention, okay, and that other person does not need to keep on repeating. So a boss or a supervisor does not like to keep on repeating themselves. So it's good if you are an active listener in the office. Okay, all right. By the way, it's also good when you attend meetings or do conversations with people and you are an active listener. It shows something about you, okay, like being you're smart, right? And also one skill that is also expected from you is the operation of automated office machines. When we say automated office machines, these are machines or equipment that can be operated, like what we have in the office, the printers. Okay, so you should know how to print from your computer. The photocopier should at least know how to operate the photocopier. Okay, and projectors, right? Those are equipment in the office that you should be familiar with. Okay, and also skills in office procedures, so, telephone techniques. Okay, you know how to follow procedures in the office. It's a skill, all right? Para hindi pa ulit-ulit, tanong ng tanong. Okay, so you should be knowledgeable of office procedures also. Records management is another skill that is expected of you. Okay, you know how to file, you know where to route communications. Okay, so this was discussed to you by Sir Rolly in his previous discussion, right? So records management is another skill or aspect where you should be familiar with, right? Okay, let's proceed. Let's take a look at the duties and responsibilities of office workers, okay, or office staffs, okay. So when you work in an office, you have, number one, administrative duties, okay. So these are some of the administrative duties. These are like general, okay. When you work in an office, these are things that can be done by you, okay. To manage work and time. Okay? How do you manage your work and time? You do your specified duties, okay. Also, you may keep a calendar of your supervisor's schedule and meetings. If you are a secretary or an assistant, then you give reminder. You entertain visitors in the office, your clients or your customers. You talk to them. Okay? You also may be taking notes during meetings and prepare minutes of the meetings. And also you could be assisting in the preparation of written reports. These are some work that could be managed by someone working in an office, or could be done by someone working in an office, okay. Locate business information quickly. This means that you will search for documents, for reports, for files, okay, or any information that is needed by the supervisor or by the boss, okay. You will also be receiving and entertaining callers, okay. So it might not be in the form of a telephone, it could be mobile, your mobile phones, okay. So this would mean answering incoming calls, and also make outgoing calls to route information and to inquire about information or to give information, okay. Right. Next, to handle meetings and conferences, meaning you could be organizing meetings and conferences or events, right? So you will arrange appointments or accommodate appointments for meetings, and you will keep a record of them. You could be coordinating and preparing logistics arrangements that are needed for the meeting or the conference. So transportation, food, right? So those are some things that could be handled by you or done by you when you organize events, okay, or you attend events, okay, or you organize the venue, okay. Next, to order supplies. So of course, that's to someone working in an office may also be ensuring the availability of supplies. So you could be processing orders or purchase requests, or inform your supervisor that you lack supplies and that we need to replenish or to order, okay. Make travel arrangements. So like when you or your boss travel or your colleagues travel, you could be arranging the bookings or the vehicle or the itineraries, okay. And of course, take care of the office routines when your colleagues are away or when your boss is away from the office. Then you take charge. Okay, so one duty that is also important in the office is to get along with others in the office. So that's a duty that you also communicate, you have a good relationship with your colleagues in the office, okay. Do not be snob, okay? You develop a friendly and accommodating personality, because it's not good, okay, when people are not talking or does not get along well in one office. So it's a duty to get along with others in your office in the future, right? Let's proceed to communications. Okay, so you will be handling communication, all right. That means to handle hard mail or electronic mail. When we say hard mail, those are mail that comes in using your LBC or the courier, okay, or emails. You'll be reading emails or forwarding, replying, okay, relaying information from the email, okay. You'll also be handling phone calls, answer incoming calls again, and make outgoing calls for the boss or your colleagues. Okay. By the way, for the electronic mail or the hard mail, you could be preparing outgoing mail, or you will be recording. You'll be handling certain type of correspondence and like memos, right, circulars, and forward to appropriate offices. Okay. So also to handle other methods of communication like cascading information. So you'll need to be coordinating with people or offices. You follow up through calls, okay, when needed. Right? Records management, to do basic filing and have knowledge of records control. So you file documents according to the filing system of your office. You keep records of the company for future references. Right? Those are some duties that you will be doing in line with communicate. Number 3, processing words and business writing. When we say processing words, this could mean you will be drafting or dictating or encoding letters, reports, and other type of communication. So earlier we have had your business writing and your lessons with Sir Rolly. Okay, so those are some duties that you will be doing in an office work. Okay, you will be composing letters, memos, or compose activity proposals, or create reports, right? Those things. Refergraphics. When we say refergraphics, this would mean you will be operating to operate various copying machines, right? Any machine that would be that is capable of duplicating, right, documents. Okay. 5, computing, accounting, and data processing. These are some of the duties that that can be expected in an office work. So usually MDAS, the basic. You just need to have the basic ability to calculate. When you say MDAS, your multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Of course, we all know how to do that. And so that you can compute, right? Lagging in math is involved in our day-to-day activities. So you are expected to have the ability to keep financial records. You keep company financial records of your employer or your boss. You process reimbursement for expenses, or you make a list of expenses. Depende, okay? And you could be handling simple banking transactions as well, like going to the bank and deposit, okay, money, right? So also the basic, you are expected to be knowledgeable of data processing, which involves taking unorganized facts and arranging them in such a way to obtain desired information with the use of high-speed electronic machines. Usually, ito yung reporting. Okay, tingnan mo nga data ng ganito and come up with a report. Mga ganyan. Excel, yung usual na ginagamit pag ganitong bagay. Okay? So, there are other administrative duties like organizing office procedures. So, like when you say, to make it easier, we will identify when this is the situation, where should they go, okay, whom should they contact, okay, who are the people who's going to approve. So mga procedures na ganyan, pwedeng baka you participate in creating or organizing office procedures. You initiate systems, recommend procedures that are useful and effective in the office so that it is easier for the people and for your boss or the office as a whole. Okay? So you could also be supervising other workers. When you implement company policies, then you have a specialized job. Pag ganitong bagay, ikaw yung pinupuntahan and you provide, okay, what you recommend what should be done. Trabaho, no? Okay, we have other related duties like you are supposed to understand the use and preparation of various office forms. Pagdating sa office, ano ba yung mga forms na ito, para saan ba sila, kanino ba dinadala? Okay. Those are the things that you should be looking into when you're a new person in a job. Okay, so you keep also the office presentable at all times. You sweep the floor, okay, you wipe the tables, you throw the garbage. So these are things that we can do in the office. It does not mean that when we work do an office job, we will not be doing these things. Maghugas ng plato, right? Definitely, we will all do this in an office, okay? So you serve coffee or food to the boss and the visitors. These are some things that are part of your duties, okay? Alright, so this is your activity 9. It's simple. Just need to talk with your family or a friend who is an office employee, okay? You, of course, provide a picture or proof of your discussion with him or her online or, of course, offline, and ask the following questions. And then you prepare a written report of the result of your interview or the answers to your questions. Okay? What are the major tasks performed in the office? Ask them. What are they doing in the office? What's their specific job? Okay? What are some types of equipment that are found in the office? Ano yung mga equipment na ginagamit nila? Okay? What's the type of the organization? Anong office yun? Okay? And what's the mandate or the function of that office? Alright? So it's easy. Okay? Proceed to the personality traits that are required of a secretary or an administrative staff or someone working in an office. It's not limited to a secretary or this is general, okay? Someone who works in an office. So these are good personality traits, okay, that can help you build good professional image, okay? So ability to build goodwill, okay? So, a good public relation person of a supervisor as well as the organization or office. You are a good representative of the office or of your boss, okay? Where you should we should make our office or our boss look good to other people, okay? To our fellow workers in other departments or other offices, okay, especially to client and customers. You build goodwill, na maganda yung image, okay, ng office na pinagtatrabuhan mo. You don't go and destroy it and say that that office is really like that. There is snob because the boss is snob, okay? Don't do that, okay? That's bad will, okay? So you create a good image for the boss and the office, okay? Number 2, tactfulness, okay? When you are tactful, it means that you know the right thing to say and do and know where and how to do or say it, okay? Say the right thing at the right time and at the right place. That's being tactful. So dapat, okay, you build that behavior of being tactful, okay? That's important, okay? You don't just blurt out words, okay? And say secrets and do chismes, okay? You're not being tactful with that. So one very important personality trait of someone working in the office is tactfulness, okay? You know when to say words, how to say it, okay? And to whom, okay, you should be saying it. 3, sense of anticipation. This is knowing in advance what will be needed and being prepared for it when the need arises. So you should have that sense of anticipation where, because an efficient administrative staff or an office staff should know, okay, what the boss will need before he asks for it, okay, and what activity the boss will do next. And you're always prepared for it, okay? So, dapat meron ka ng expectation, ito yung mangyayari, I will bring this, okay? And do this, alright? Because I am anticipating that this will be happening, right? Number 4, ability to follow through. So, as an office worker, you should have this ability to follow up, okay? So that you are saying to it that every job is carried to its completion. Baka you just forwarded something, you just started a job and forwarded it to another office and you did not follow up. And then you say, ay, matagal, right? You need to follow up, so to see that the job is carried to its completion. Okay? Checking with a supervisor from time to time to ensure that he or she will not fail in his or her commitments. So you check with your supervisor from time to time. I did this. Okay. So should we continue doing this? Okay. I went to her and told her that this is what needs to be done. Okay. Tama ba? Right. So you always check with your supervisor or your colleagues. Okay. Do not be alone. Right. So an efficient staff should follow up frequently every job that is undertakes. So like approvals of proposals, processing of papers needed for funding, dapat marunong kang mag-follow up. Alright, next, loyalty. This is very important. Okay, this is a good personality trait. Okay, you undertake the job during plenty times and crisis times. So you're loyal to your job. Okay? Kahit mahirap, when there's a lot of work that needs to be done, you still do it. Okay? Even during crisis, you don't turn your back and say, "Ay, nangamong da." Alright? Let them be. Okay? You understand, being loyal also means that you understand your boss' weakness and does not reveal them to others. You're loyal to your boss. Don't go chismis and say, when he went to Manila for his travel, he stayed in a room like this and blah blah blah. You do not, if you know that your boss has weaknesses, okay, you don't reveal them to other people. Okay, instead you defend your supervisor to anyone when needed. When you see that your supervisor or your colleague is being destroyed by other people, then you defend them. Okay, that's being loyal. Being loyal also means that you are dedicated to your work. Okay, an honest work for a day's pay. So if you're paid for 1,000 pesos in a day, then work. Okay, do not corrupt the time. Okay, performs the mandate of the office. Okay, if it's a difficult job, as long as it's really the job, the mandate of your office, then you do it. Okay, that is being loyal. You don't shy away from that difficult work or job. Dependability. You can be relied upon in any activity, so dependable, right? Your colleagues and your boss will know that you are dependable when you are always present. You are prompt in reporting to the office and you are there in times of emergency. Okay, maaasahan. That's what dependable means. Okay, so you have the ability to keep confidential information. Okay, so by the way, under dependability class, do not go missing during special event or occasions or difficult times. A dependable office staff is always willing to make personal sacrifices for the call of duty. Okay, all right. So let's proceed to number 7, the ability to keep confidential information. A staff who knows how to keep confidential information is well trusted by superiors and co-workers. Okay, so it's undeniable that, of course, office staffs, especially secretaries, know what is going on in the office. And staff, especially secretaries, are often, they often hear from their bosses about confidential matters. So a boss can, of course, talk to you and ask for your opinion for confidential matters when they know that you have the ability to keep confidential information, right? So you can be well trusted by your boss or your colleagues. Staffs who talk about confidential information to others can cause incalculable damage to the organization or the office and to the boss. So a staff secretary who reveals confidential information can destroy herself because nobody would want to work with someone who is like that. Okay, they know that you will reveal the secrets, so they won't like to tell you things. And be careful, guys, with in the future speaking confidential information to other people, because it can damage the reputation of other people and damage the reputation of the office because you're carrying, okay, also the image of your office. Number 8, emotional stability. Okay, someone who is, this is a good personal trait. Okay, this involves self-control. No matter what happens in the office, you don't get angry, okay, easily. You have this self-control. You don't show don't do bad faces, okay, bad face or expression easily, or you don't even do that in an office. Okay, personal emotions like anger, hatred, irritations, envy, sadness, and the likes must be controlled so that everyone will work, okay, well, okay? Because these things can destroy, you know, the mood, right, and even the relationship in the office. Okay, so of course, in every office, we experience crises like workloads, heavy workloads, unexpected absences of colleagues and bosses, or an employee creating a situation in which we should always remain calm in solving the problem. Okay, be rational and not emotional. You set aside your personal grievances with other person when doing your job. So you don't, it's not because you had a misunderstanding and there's a job that came up and you need her opinion, you won't talk to her anymore. That's not a good personality trait. It shows that you are not emotionally stable. Okay? Number 9, ability to communicate ideas effectively. So you are able to express your ideas clearly. Hindi yung nahihiya ako, hindi ko masabi. Okay? One good trait of an office staff is you are able, okay, to deliver your ideas effectively. You learn to put your ideas into words and communicate it. Like, hindi ko alam kung paano ko sabihin. That's not good, right? So, you should be, right, especially for secretaries or admin aides, since they often speak to their boss, should be able to communicate your ideas. You're not shy. Okay. Number 10, cost conscious. You perform your job in the most economical way, not because there's plenty of bond papers, ball pens, and then you just throw them, okay, just lose them, right? That's not how you should do it. You know how to budget your time. You carefully organize work so that no time, money, and effort will be wasted. Okay? Cost conscious. Meron kang sense of sayang. Alright? Number 11, you have the ability to develop variety of interests. So you are up to date with outside affairs. Hindi lang yung affairs ng office you're updated with the news, what's happening. Okay? As they said, a staff who is interested in news happenings is a sign of a healthy mind. So it's a good personality trait if you're always updated with news events. Okay, they said that we should also be involved in community affairs, okay, to keep our minds, our social being well. Okay, and then if we are up to date, ideas can be created out of the knowledge that we acquire from being up to date with outside happenings. So, hindi ka napag-iiwanan ng panahon. Yeah. Number 12, independent mind. So, you are an alert staff, an alert staff should have a mind of her own. Hindi yung you just go with the flow. That's not really good. You know when to say no, when to say yes, okay, what to do. Okay, you should promptly and tactfully speak your ideas. You're not afraid to say no. Okay, whenever you are not in agreement with the other person's point of view, but you say it in a nice way. Number 14, you have a good sense of moral value. Ito yung magandang trait din. You should have a high sense of moral value and not easily tempted. Meron kang prinsipyo about morality. What is good and what should not be done. Okay, you are not tolerant. Okay. You're tolerant and understanding about gossips, criticisms, jealousies, and shortcomings of others. So you understand others, even when they gossip, when they criticize, when they're always jealous, or they're not perfect. You have this attitude of being understanding. Okay, so sense of responsibility. You accept and does your job seriously. You try all means to finish any task assigned to you with satisfactory or very satisfactory results. So even when no one's watching, no one is observing, you're doing your job because you know that you need to do it and that you are responsible in doing it. Okay. All right. So grooming requirements for office staff. So first, when we go to an office, it's expected that we appear clean. We have a neat appearance. Okay. So we should look, when we go to the office, we should be in our best and looks presentable at all times. Okay. Sabi nila, an organized person can be known by their appearance. So, your appearance says something about your personality. Right? Number 2, dress should be appropriate for office wear. When you go to an office, okay, of course, your clothing should be appropriate for the setting. You follow the dress code that is prescribed. Pag sinabing blue, blue, black, black, or walang sleeveless, and you don't do it. You follow the dress code, okay? Not too revealing. Not showing your cleavage, okay? Your pants is, bumababa na. Parang, I remember Benjamin. You wear your belt, right? Okay. Number 3, hair should look neat and properly fixed or styled. Hindi yung ang gulo-gulo ng hair, parang hindi naligo. Number 4, good smell. You should have the right fragrance, not too much. Okay? Hindi rin mabaho. Okay. Fingernails are well cared and properly trimmed. So, hindi yung fingernails are dirty. Okay? When you work with documents, you have a client, then they're seeing your fingernails to be dirty, right? That's not really good. So makeup for girls should be suitable and evenly applied. If it's an office, then do not do your makeup like you're going to a party. Okay. Number 7, shoes should be clean. So, because accordingly, your shoes is a reflection of your hygiene. Pag madumi daw yung sapatos mo, ay malamang you don't have good hygiene. So, it's important that you keep your sandals, your shoes when you go to the office. So there are things to start with, okay? As students, we can start with this. You acquire knowledge and skills that are required of an office job. You train yourself with office automation, paano mag-print if you get the opportunity, typing, okay? Learn to operate as many modern office machines as you can, particularly computers, Microsoft, MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those things. Start training yourselves into those things, okay? Number 2, develop your personality already and acquire the right kind of attitude towards yourself and other people. Start developing a good image, good work values. Okay? Number 3, learn to deal with and adjust yourself to different kinds of people. Hindi yung, ayoko siya, hindi ko siya feel, right? No, that's not how you and then you avoid. No, you also learn to deal with different kinds of attitudes. Right? So that's about it for our lessons. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.